Yo, what up everyone, Amiri here, owner of Rappin' and Snacking, getting into another Hot Takes video. These are fresh from y'all. Just submitted these yesterday from my Instagram poll. If you're not following me there and you want to submit a hot take, hit me up on there at Rappin' and Snacking, hit me up on TikTok at Rappin' and Snacking. And there's some great ones. I appreciate everybody. I'm definitely not going to get to everyone's. I'm just going to pick some of my favorites. But yeah, stay tuned. I'm going to collect some more at another date. So I'm just going to get into some for this video. First one that I'm going to get into for this video. This person is saying Prime Ice Cube, Weapon X 1988. This person is saying Prime Ice Cube would take out any MC in a beef. Nas, MJ, anyone. I actually agree. And I'm trying not to let my Ice Cube bias be out because he is my favorite rapper, but I genuinely do believe that he would beat anyone if he was in his prime, which this person is specifically saying his prime. He's not saying Ice Cube today, Ice Cube in 2022, not Ice Cube in the 2000s. No, prime Ice Cube, which in my opinion, prime Ice Cube is early 90s Ice Cube, maybe even late 80s Ice Cube. Yeah, man, I mean, he dropped No Vaseline, which was the bestest song of all time, my opinion. He also dropped at the end of the best album of all time, Death Certificate. And the stuff he said on there, how witty he was, how clever he was, how he attacked every single artist from NWA, how he attacked the manager. Not only that, but also the vocal samples, just the samples just throughout the track were just genius. So that's a credit to not only him, but also to the Boogeymen, Sir Jinx, etc. Just everyone who contributed to that made it that much more special. No Vaseline is the bestest song of all time. And honestly, Nas, MJ, I think they would lose to Ice Cube. I think the toughest, actually, opponent would be probably Eminem from that, because Eminem is a really good disser. He's great at dissing people, and he also gets dissed a lot too. But as far as being able to dish it out, he's really good at it. I like this take. I agree with this take. Shout out to Weapon X. Next up, we got this person. Let's go to Emery E43. This person saying Premier is better than Dr. Dre. So I actually got a lot of hot takes similar to this. This person saying Premier is better than Dre. I got another person saying DJ Muggs is better than Dre. I got another person saying Riz is better than Dre. What's the common theme here? What is the common denominator here? The common denominator is Dr. Dre. Why? Because you always want to measure yourself up with the best. You never want to measure yourself up to something mediocre, something that maybe, just on the same partner. You always want to measure up to the best. And to me, that already answers the question. Who's the best? It's Dr. Dre. People constantly use him as a measuring stick. People always use his songs, his albums as measuring sticks because it's the best. And Dre is the GOAT. I mean, anytime someone says stuff like this to me, it just further just boosts that argument. Now, to answer Premier and Dre in comparison, I think DJ Premier is phenomenal. And I think if there is a second place, which there is, I think Premier is the owner of the silver medal, the second place. He's the one who is right after Dr. Dre. He's amazing. But in terms of what Dr. Dre has done and Premier has done, anyone has done, I mean, no one, in my opinion, is worthy of the GOAT status of producer. When you talk about singles, when you talk about cross-genre, when you talk about movies, stadiums, exec production on albums, bringing out new rappers, bringing out new artists, he's really done so much. He's checked off so many boxes that people dream of sniffing. And this is not me trying to be rude or anything like that. I'm just being as honest as I can be. Dr. Dre is the gold standard when it comes to hip-hop production. And if you want to say that, he gets help from other producers, well, what does a producer do? They get the best resources to make the best possible product. That's what it all is. It's not just making a beat and you're done with it. No. And not to mention, if you want to even say that, then where are these other producers when they're not with Dre? A lot of them, you can't even name them. Stuff like a lot of people are like, oh, well, Melman was on the inside and of the 2001, and that's a phenomenal album, and he's credited all over it. Name me something that Melman has done aside from 2001, and all you will hear is crickets. Not because Melman is not dope without Dr. Dre, but who made the music the best? That is Dr. Dre, one of many examples. Shout out to Emery E43. Let's end that discussion, please. Next up, we got someone named Kid Hip Hop saying Common definitely deserves to be mentioned in more conversations about the GOATs of hip hop. So You know what's actually interesting is Common has been around for so long. He's actually been around for over 30 years now. And it's interesting because you don't, at least I don't see him on really any great, I don't see him on really any tier lists, any top 10 lists. I really don't see him on any lists. And it's not like his music's whack, because it's not. I personally haven't heard all of Common stuff, but he's a really dope artist. He's also stayed relevant for a good portion of his career. So, it's very interesting that he's not really shouted out more. So I do respect this take. And I don't think, I wouldn't consider him like the greatest of all time, obviously nothing. I don't think he's the GOAT, but I think he is a dope artist who definitely deserves more props, flowers, and recognition. So shout out to Common, shout out to Kid Hip Hop for putting some spotlight on him as well. Next up, we got someone saying, this person is Floris Roos, 78. This person is saying Masta Ace is the MC with the most consistent discography in hip hop and is still relevant. Big shout out to this person right here. Wow, Masta Ace is one of the best rappers, and he's been rapping for maybe 35 years? I mean, I don't remember when his first album came out. Was it 88 or something like that? Take a look around, but he had some stuff before. I mean, yeah, Masta Ace is so great. He's so consistent. He's still doing it well. I mean, his album with Marco Polo that dropped in, was it 2019, 2018, one of those years? That album was incredible. And I always said this. I mean, I didn't always say it, but I said this, and obviously, God forbid anything like this happens, but I remember when that album dropped, and I remember I heard Fight Song, which was the last song on the album, and that was with Pharoah Monch. Amazing song. Please stop this video and listen to it if you haven't. But that song, I was like, if Masta Ace, God forbid, dies tomorrow, and this is his last song, what a crazy way to go out. That song is phenomenal. Concept mashed out the park. Pharoah Monch does an excellent job as well playing Multiple Sclerosis. Just a masterpiece. And Masta Ace, conceptually, he's one of the best concept artists ever. He is so good. Concept tracks for days. One of the best to ever do it is Masta Ace. Big shout out. As far as most consistent discography, I don't know. There's some rappers who are just so good, but Masta Ace's discography is for sure up there with most consistent. He is so great. So shout out to you. Next up, we got someone saying, this guy's dropped dozens of hot takes, so I feel like I'm always shouting him out, but he just dropped so many, man. So this guy, his name is NEFFEX2001. He says 50 Cent's Many Men is up there with songs like Juicy, Dead Presidents, and Real Slim Shady. I mean, yeah, I agree. From a sales perspective, yeah. It's up there. From an important perspective in hip-hop, I think it is. I think it tells a great story. I think just how 50 Cent is flowing on the song. I think his chorus is excellent. I think, and in particular on that album, Get Rich or Die Trying, his choruses, a lot of them stood the test of time. And I think they will continue to stand the test of time, Many Men being one of them. It's definitely one of his premier songs, and it's definitely a song that I think will last for a long time, just like these songs, Juicy, Dead Presidents, and Real Slim Shady. Next up, I'm going to stick with this guy. He says, if he wasn't lazy as F, Lloyd Banks could have been a top 5 rapper. No, I don't think so, because one, you just already outed him for why he can't be a top 5 rapper, because he is lazy. That's one thing. You're wasting the most important resource, and that would be time. Not everyone has as much time, and Lloyd Banks has other priorities, and it's not on rapping, then good for him. No one's forcing you to be on a microphone, whatever. And I haven't heard all of his discography. But on top of that, Lloyd Banks, to me, cannot be a top 5 artist or rapper, because I think his voice is extremely, as far as a rapper is concerned, it doesn't have a ton of range. He does stay pretty monotone on a lot of stuff. And I think that when you're an artist, you kind of want to flex your guns a little bit on what you can do on the mic, what you can do with your voice, what you can do with your flow. Some people stay in their own lane, and that works out for the whole career, but Lloyd Banks, he doesn't entertain me as much in that regard as someone like a Too Short who stays in his lane. You never hear Too Short rapping really fast. He's always like in his lane, but I think he's more capable of keeping someone engaged to his music, hence the 5, the 6, the 7, 8-minute songs that Too Short has dropped around or over the course of his career. Next up, we got someone saying, this person's name is Benji Collector. He is saying, and shout out to this guy because he has talked to me a few times on Instagram. He's saying WuTang is not a top 3 rap group of all time. Still great, though. I actually did also answer this a little bit on my Instagram, and I will agree with this. I do not think they're a top 3 rap group of all time as far as the discography perspective is concerned. If we're talking influence, that's another conversation. We're just talking discography of the group. Yes, I think Enter the Wu-Tang is phenomenal. Masterpiece. I think Wu-Tang Forever is great. I think the albums after that, there's some great moments, but as far as great albums, no. I would take quite a few rap groups over them. 3 6 Mafia being one of them, Gangstar being one of them, Outkast being one of them, Mobb Deep being one of them, and then you can go just other rappers too, other rap groups too that I'm just named those off the top of my head, right? But I mean, Wu-Tang is awesome, but when we're talking just as far as the discography perspective, the group discography could be better. If we're talking, and now if we're including solo discography too, then it's a whole other conversation. It would take me a pen and a paper to write down some stuff before I just mouth off the top of the dome. But that's my opinion on that. I know that's probably a hot take for some of y'all, so let me know what y'all think below. All right, let's go ahead and get into one last take for this video, and we're going to get into some more next week. We got this person saying musical notes, or this person's name is musical notes, and they are saying MF Doom has the best 3 album run of all time with Mad Villainy, Food, and Venomous Villain. I am going to go ahead and do a disagree on this one for sure. There were some dope albums, particularly the Mad Villainy and Food I definitely like. Venomous Villain I wasn't as big on, but anyways, I mean, those 2 albums, the first 2 are really, really, really great. Are they better than Ice Cube's first 3 solo albums? No way. Are they better than Redman's first 3 solo albums? No way. And those are just the first 3. We can go like other albums too. Like, are they better than Eminem's Slim Shady LP, Marshall Mathers LP, Eminem Show? No. And we can go and go and go. You know what actually be interesting is I want to see Freddie Gibbs and Madlibs when they drop their 3rd album together. I really want to see how that's going to sound like. And that, as of now, it's titled Montana, but I want to see how that's going to be because Pinata and Bandana are really great, especially Bandana in my opinion. No, rest in peace MF Doom, but no, I don't think he has the best 3 album run of all time in hip hop history for a solo artist. No way. And there's definitely more. We can probably even go like Too Short. Oh my god, Too Short with some of his albums. We can do like Short Dogs in the House, Shorty the Pimp, Get In Where You Fit In. I'd take those over as well. But that's this person's opinion. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know what y'all think of these hot takes below, what you agree with. Am I crazy? Am I right? Are these people right? What do y'all think? Hit me up on Instagram and TikTok at Rappin' and Snackin' and drop some hot takes in the comments. There will be a time where I will take hot takes directly from YouTube and put them on videos too. So just drop them and we'll see what we do. And drop suggestions because sometimes I'm just thinking of what videos to record. So I appreciate y'all as always. Hit me up. Bless. Thank you.